Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I always say it's me, Steven. I really should change the title of my channel to It's Me, Steven. So I had the nicest experience yesterday. I mean, really unbelievable experience. I actually went to lunch with one of my subscribers. She was very generous. She took me to lunch at PF Chang's and Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. It was so nice. She said she wanted to thank me for the encouragement that I had given her. We've been chatting through Messenger, and she's just so lovely. She's so lovely, and I identify with a lot of what she shared, and she seemed to identify with what I said. And we just had a really nice time on Messenger, and then she said she wanted to thank me by taking me to lunch. I typically don't accept things like that because I always feel awkward. I'm easy. It's easier for me to give something than to receive, but she was so nice. And we had a wonderful time. I think we spent like 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours. We went to PF Chang's, then we went to Starbucks afterwards. And just had a wonderful time talking about the lifestyle and some aspects of what she should expect. Some things that, they don't teach you in training. Just a wonderful, wonderful time. And while we were talking, I got a message on Facebook Messenger from another subscriber, and I think she said she got her conditional job offer. But, she was just thanking me for being her not spirit animal, guru. Where did I get spirit animal? Her flight attendant guru, I guess, and that she had just mentioned that she was very thankful or grateful for my encouragement. And, with these two experiences happening at the same time, I was just very emotional. I got very emotional. I'm so proud of you guys for the efforts that you're making and the rewards that you're reaping. And I'm just so humbled by that you actually listen and like what I have to say for the most part. I do have 10 thumbs down dislikes on my videos. 10 out of like 2,100 likes or something. But those 10 thumbs down really bug me. But for the most part, you guys seem to like what I have to say, and I'm just really humbled. Another message I got on Facebook Messenger asked if I would either email her about customer service, some stories or tips, or make a video. And, I'd like to make videos. So I thought I would do a little video about some aspects of customer service. And this might end up having to be a series because you know how I talk, right? So I thought, well, I'll make a video about customer service. And then I came to really realize that customer service for me is not a skill. It's not one skill that I don't give great customer service. That's not what I do. What I do is bring my skills to work, my experiences to work, and try to provide great experiences for all of my guests, each of them requiring different aspects of customer service. As a whole, I think that becomes customer service. So I think what I might do, and haven't really thought about this, I should have thought about it before I turned the camera on, but what I might do is just make a little video about different aspects of customer service. And I kind of did that today by accident. One aspect of customer service that I really don't hear a lot about is, especially from flight attendants, is love. L-O-V-E. I know. Not like love where HR get involved, just love and care, on a video, a while ago, I told a short story, really brief story about, I had been broken up with, I had been dumped, and I was on the subway in Boston crying because of some song came on my phone. And I'm looking out the window trying to cry like out the window so that no one would really see me cry because I'm not a good crier. Well, I'm a really great crier, but I'm an ugly crier. And, I turned to wipe some tears away and I made eye contact, unfortunately, with this guy who was sitting across from me. And he just smiled gently, knowingly, and he handed me a tissue. It's very sweet and it was very quick. But, and as small as that gesture was, it really made me feel cared for and totally okay. And it was the difference, I think, of a really good day and a bad day. I should say a really bad day and an okay day. But that small gesture is just an example of love. I think that it's possible to love strangers. Nothing in giant ways. I just watched a YouTube video about a guy who donated bone marrow to someone he didn't know. And clearly that's an act of love for, humanity. And that's a giant thing. I don't certainly expect I'll be doing at work. But like that little tissue, I certainly can make small loving gestures to my guests as they board, while they're on board, and as they're leaving. And even in the airport, because they always approach us in the airport. So I can love our guests and have that be an aspect of our customer service. Before we even get on the airplane, as we're moving towards our gate, we're often in a hurry, when we got our Starbucks and we got our bags, and people in the airport will stop us, because they need help. They're lost. They don't fly very often, so they can't find their gate information or whatever on their ticket. And a lot of flight attendants will just blow right past people, or they'll hide. Some of us will hide from passengers in the airport. At the gate, we'll sit around a corner, or we sit far, far away from our gate. We'll sit at someone else's terminal or something. We hide because we just don't want to interact with guests, because it can be exhausting. But I'll tell you, for that person who, when they do stop me in the airport, I love it when they're like, hey, can you help me? Yeah, sure. What do you need? Where are you going? Try my best to send them in the right direction. Sometimes I'm wrong. But I really think it speaks well for me, but also for my company, because I'm wearing my uniform, right? So I always want to be the good guy. And I've needed help before. And when someone else stepped out of their way to help me, I appreciated it. So even before they got on the airplane, we can kind of love them, even though we don't know them. One story that keeps popping up in my head as I was preparing for this little video, like scribbling some notes down, is a story that one of my favorite coworkers, Desmond, who subscribes to my videos. Hi, Desmond, if you're watching. Desmond is a love. I'm not sure if it's just by him by nature or just that he's Jamaican, because they're so nice. But I have a lot of Jamaican friends. But Desmond was telling me a story, and I don't remember the exact details, but there was this grandmother who, apparently was found out that her first grandchild had been born. So she packed a suitcase full of baby clothes and toys and things that she wanted to bring for this brand new baby she was meeting for the first time. And, she is a grandmother in name only until she's held that baby. And we have the honor and the privilege of ferrying her from being almost a grandma to actually holding her grandchild for the first time. What an opportunity to love people right there, right? So this suitcase that she has, she's having a hard time lifting it or something. And, Desmond would just jump out of his jump seat and to help her. Or if you can't lift that bag, or just don't want to, which is a different story, then certainly there's a guest nearby who can most certainly, hey, sir, could you help us lift this bag? There's ways of getting around not lifting a bag. Just to show a little care and concern. We don't know why she's traveling, but if she's traveling with all this anticipation of this beautiful event of seeing her first grandchild, what an opportunity we have to show her love and care and compassion by helping her out with something as simple as a bag, Yeah. So that brings me to one of the sayings that I hear as a flight attendant that I just cannot stomach. I'll visibly get shaken if I hear this statement. And haven't heard it very often from my coworkers, but I certainly have seen it on the web or on YouTube. But you pack it, you stack it. You may have, if you're a flight attendant, you may have said it yourself. If you pack it, you stack it, meaning if you pack that bag and you carry that bag into the airport, it's your responsibility to put that bag in the overhead bin. That's what a lot of people believe. And I think, I don't think it's actually technically our job to put bags in the overhead bin. You know, some people say, oh, it's not safe. I don't want to put myself at risk. I personally remember having to lift a suitcase over my head to get the job. So I think the airline probably anticipates that you're going to have to lift a piece of luggage over your head. That's just a guess. Most airlines might anticipate that you'll have to do that. But when you do it, because you're going to have to, why not do it with a little love? Sure, a smile. Sure, let me help you with that. Oh my gosh, hey, don't let me help with that, or let me get help so we can both lift that, or whatever. There's a way to show a little love and compassion, even in the simple act of lifting a bag, really. Yeah, I could go on and on about the attitudes that I see coworkers exhibit when it comes to luggage, but I'm not going to talk about that because I'm going to be loving right now. All right, so something else I wrote. I just jotted down some scenarios. If I see a woman, a single woman traveling with a baby or small children, you know, that woman is coming on board with two or three little kids scampering around, going into any seat they want. She's carrying their bags, her bag, snacks, drinks, bottles. She looks like a nomad trying to get down the aisle, and she's already frazzled by the time she's gotten to the seat. So, how is this for an opportunity to love her and care for her and her children? Not just be of service, but show actual compassion and love. So, you know, either helping her down the aisle. Hey, you know, can I grab that bag for you? You know, someone in the aircraft should always be mid-cabin anyway. On A320, our chaser, who is our B, I should say, our B position, and sometimes our chaser really should be mid-cabin to assist with people in terms of seat duplications, luggage, whatever, just to be visible and available for help. But in my opinion, it shouldn't just be their job to stand there. When I'm in that position, I really want to stand there and be of assistance when I see someone struggling. Show some love and compassion. For that single woman, when I pass through the aircraft doing service, or when I'm taking trash, smiling at her, making eye contact and saying, hey, I see that you may have your hands full. Is there anything I can do to make your day a little easier? Even if she says no, when I pass by, I bet you that she is going to be like, oh, thank God someone at least offered, right? So little efforts. Those kids, I can love those kids. I jokingly tell people on the aircraft that I used to be allergic to children. No, really, allergic. I would break out in hives. If I heard a baby crying, I could hear them a mile away. And I'd be like, why can't they shut that effing child up? Oh my God. But this job has really transformed my feelings around kids. I don't know why. I would love a baby. I can't even have a dog right now, so never mind a baby. But those kids, you know, when they're flipping the tray table up and down, or they're flipping the armrest up and down, or they're kicking the chair in front of them, or they're grabbing a hold of the headrest and they're just wrestling. Those poor kids are stuck in a seat for hours and they don't know why. They may not have a concept of that they're going to be traveling thousands of miles for a number of hours. They're just bored little kids, and they may be causing a little noise and misbehaving. What else are they going to do? Sometimes parents don't even bring stuff with them to entertain the kids. So one act of love and care, I cart around at least 3 coloring books and crayons. I just got them at the dollar store. I try to make sure they're cute and they're sort of gender neutral. But I keep those in my bag because sometimes kids just don't know what to do when they're bored, so they act up, they kick the chair. They're not going to kick a chair if they're coloring. So, you know, I stop by, and even if the parents brought stuff, sometimes the kids just don't want the stuff that the parents brought. It's like Christmas morning. They're going to play with the cardboard box and not the toy, right? So no matter what you do as a parent, I think you're going to lose when it comes to entertaining your kids. So, you know, show some love and compassion. I try to speak to the children as if they're little people, which they are. And, you know, it usually smooths everything out and they behave well. In a year and 2 or 3 months, I have really not had one child seriously misbehave after making some effort of taking care of them or their parent. So I love kids now. It's crazy. All right, so I wrote down this little bit here. Let me look at it a little more. Even, you know, when I mentioned going down the aisle taking trash, even the act of collecting trash can be a small gesture of love and kindness. At least that's how I try to present it. And if I try to present myself in the vein of love and care and kindness, something positive is bound to happen, or at least nothing negative is going to happen. So what did I write down here? Even the act of collecting trash can be a small gesture of love and care. I try to smile and make eye contact as I move through the cabin, asking if I can dispose of something, that cup or that empty bag. May I take that for you? Can I dispose of that for you? Hi, how are you? Are you finished with that? Can I take that for you? Examples. Let's see. That small effort. Rather than shake a trash bag as I walk down the aisle, not caring, you know, what would it be like to be sitting there on an aircraft having a great day or a really crappy day and having some flight attendant wearing plastic gloves and a trash bag, shaking a bag, eye level, mind you, because we're holding it up here, but it's really eye level with them. Shaking a plastic bag. Trash, trash, trash. Ugh, how uncouth, right? It's not polished. And I'll tell you, that little trash would color my entire experience. Maybe I'm judgmental, but if I were to show a little care, a little compassion, and yes, I call it love, to walk through, hey, are you finished with that? Can I take that for you? Much nicer. And I'll tell you, I'll tell you that in a minute, because I want to bring this together with one big good point. All right, so I wrote story about Desmond and me and how we handle birthdays. One little act of love. I carry birthday cards. I go to Marshall's or TJ Maxx all too often, and there's always super, super, super cute birthday cards. They're like $1.99, nothing crazy. And I know I'm broke. I really am broke. But that $2 and the $1 I might spend in a coloring book really has an enormous payout. So I always have really stinking cute birthday cards. I mean, I really get cute ones. So when I find out, because people are often happy to say that, oh, this is my birthday, I will go in and I'll find a birthday card that I think suits the person or the occasion or whatever. And if I'm flying with my coworker Desmond, who, again, I think I mentioned him earlier, I just adore Desmond. Desmond, I'll tell you that in a second. Desmond will get like a chocolate muffin, and he'll use little swizzle sticks, straws, and he'll make like candles. And if we have gummy bears or some sort of candy, he'll put the gummy bears on top of the sticks, on the swizzle sticks, And we'll team up, and I'll have the birthday card signed by the flight crew and the cabin crew. And he'll get the cupcake, and he'll put his flashlight on and off on top of the gummy bears, so it actually looks like little flames on a cupcake, and it's just the cutest thing. And then we have the birthday card, and we both go up and we'll sing happy birthday, and everyone around us usually joins in. And I'll tell you, and we'll comp, because our company allows us to comp things that are not big for specific situations. They don't mention birthdays, but I really think it's a polished thing to show this. It's love. It is love in the form of a cupcake and a couple gummy bears. And we just did it recently for a 9-year, I guess she was celebrating her 8th birthday or 9th birthday. And this girl could not get enough. She just ate it up, literally. And her whole family thought it was the most spectacular thing. And I'll tell you a fact, everyone within 5 or 6 rows that joined us in and sang happy birthday thought it was amazing too. So this one little act of love in helping to celebrate someone's birthday. A birthday card is enough for a lot of people. But when Desmond and I fly together, I'll tell you, it is special. We have a great energy together. And how I wanted to bring, and I should say, there are thousands of other stories or aspects that you can apply love to your work that will really impact the guest experience and my experience. And I've had it brighten the day of people I didn't like. Like I've flown with some people who I didn't really bond with or didn't click with right away. Or some guests who were just being cranky people. Again, I don't know why they're cranky, but they were cranky. And these things really do brighten everyone's day around you. Once in a while, you'll find a bad egg who finds it all the more irritating that you do things like this. But, whatever. So the way I wanted to bring all of this together and how it's not just a nice experience and how it makes someone's day better, but how does it become a problem-solving tool? How is love and showing love to our guests, how does that make a potentially difficult experience or a potentially challenging experience easier? How does it, I don't have to de-escalate problems when there is no problem. Is that making any sense at all? I don't know. So, we just had EDC, so Electronic Daisy Carnival, or it's some electronic music carnival, festival, something. And I flew into Vegas 3 times in one day. Oh, it was quite a day. And it could have been a really difficult day with a lot of people misbehaving. And everyone had a video camera or a cell phone out taking videos of each other partying. And, I started the whole day off with love. The minute any of them came on board, they had glitter all over their faces and they were dressed in ways that were not normal for Vegas. As they came on board, I made eye contact with as many people as I could, smiled, made pleasant comments, said, "Oh, I love your glasses." One woman came on board and she was just kind of seemed a little down, and she looked up. I said, "Hi, how are you? Welcome aboard." And she looked up and she had the most beautiful eyes. They were like hazel marble, really, really pretty. I said, "Oh my gosh," and thank God I sound as gay as I am, because I wouldn't want someone to think I was flirting with them. But I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm sure you hear every 10 minutes, you have the most lovely eye color." And she was like, "Oh," leaving the airplane, I'm getting ahead of myself, but leaving the aircraft, she was like, "I have to thank you for your comment earlier. I've had a really crappy day and I just needed to hear something nice." And she looked at my name badge and she said, "Oh, Stephen Pereira." I don't know if she'll write my company and say, "Hey, Stephen was a good guy," but I know, because she told me, that little comment, that little loving comment, brightened a crappy day. So this EDC, these flights could have been bad. Some of my coworkers have shared some really horrible stories of misbehavior and drinking and drug abuse and all sorts of craziness. But I told them right off the bat, because my company allows me a little leniency with what I say. I said, hey guys, I just want to let you guys know I love each and every single one of you. I want you to arrive safely in Las Vegas so you can have a wonderful time when you're there. But there's a couple things I want you to keep in mind. First, please pay attention to that seatbelt sign because I do love you and I want you to arrive nice and safe and sound. So if that seatbelt sign is illuminated, please do your best to remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. And what else should I say? Oh, about, I love you guys. I really, really do. It is an FAA regulation that you cannot drink your own alcohol on board. And I know you all want to have a great time, but please do us all a favor and do yourself a favor and wait until you're back in Las Vegas before you take a sip of your own alcohol. Trust me, we have plenty to sell you. Little loving announcements rather than barking. There is no drinking your own alcohol on board, and I know you're all crazy people wanting to go to a party, so, behave. So showing a little love and concern just puts out potential fires along the aisle first glance. But any of the little examples I've talked about, helping someone with their bag, celebrating someone's birthday, showing some compassion if they've mentioned that they're going to someone's funeral, doing whatever it is, being nice along the way as you collect things they want to get rid of, trash. Every example that you of love that you bring to work shows up along the aircraft. If someone is potentially going to be a problem on the aircraft, if someone is a problem on the aircraft, and you have to kind of be the bad cop, not that bad, but you have to kind of set down the rules and make sure people behave for their safety and for everyone else's safety. Everyone on the aircraft has already seen that you're the good guy. Everyone has already seen examples that you care for them and that you love them. So if you do have to kind of step out of that role and be a little bit more assertive, everyone's already on your side. Everyone understands that you're not the bad cop. You're just trying to make sure that everything is done for everyone's safety. And so it makes potentially negative experiences in the air or on the ground much easier. You take the venom out of the bite before it even happens. And so showing love and care and compassion helps make someone feel good, but the people around you also see you as a good guy. So if something potentially negative happens, that care, that love, that compassion will neutralize most negative situations. And I really think that's the giant payoff in the end. And I walk away having had a nicer day. And I've made friends. I actually have some Facebook friends that I've met on the aircraft. One day, hopefully this summer, I would go visit some people in Pittsburgh. They've invited me to stay at their house. Just a whole family that I kind of clicked with, and we became good friends. They're wonderful people. So again, there's thousands and thousands of ways that you could show love, care, and compassion to your guests and to your passengers. So, as you enter this field, or if you are becoming a flight attendant, as you make your way through that aircraft, try just maybe challenging yourself. How can I show love, care, or compassion to one person every single time I walk up and down that aisle? Depending on the size of the aircraft, that could be a lot of love. So I hope I've brought a little attention to one aspect of customer service that people don't really talk about so much. We try to be nice to each other, but try to bring a little bit more than being nice to work. Show some love. And I think you'll notice that your day's easier, it's more pleasant, and there's less problems. All right, I can talk for hours and hours. So drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. And maybe if you have any examples of how showing love to a stranger has made your day easier, their day easier, how it's affected you and what it felt like. And we'll talk later, okay? I will now go to the gym. This is partly my gym clothes. And try to lose some of this tummy. I'll talk to you guys later. Fly safe. Bye.